To show you prepping doesn't have to be expensive, I spent $34.50 at the Dollar Tree and was able to put together just about everything I needed for a medical kit 3 times over. Alright, first up we got just small packages of acetaminophen and caffeine, and this one's just ibuprofen and dihydrophenamine. Diphenhydramine. Remember, your bug out bags are not a long-term solution. They're meant to help you for 72 hours, whether that be to get from work to home during civil unrest or to escape your home during a flash flood. Benzalkonium, also known as Bactine, is just an antiseptic, which means it prevents the growth of bacteria, but it doesn't necessarily kill the bacteria that's already there. It's great to spray on wounds, but you can also use it to disinfect surfaces and products. Hydrogen peroxide. So I don't think I've ever seen like the little spray bottles at the Dollar Tree before, so that's pretty cool. Also an antiseptic. Use it as a mouthwash, a wound wash. You can even use it as deodorant. Vet wrap. Pay close attention when you're shopping for these at the Dollar Tree. They had another brand that was only 2 yards, and these are 5 yards, so you want to make sure that you get the most for your money. So this is a self-adhesive wrap, so if you were to have a wound that you need to put gauze on top of, this is what you would use to secure that gauze. You can also use it to put compression on a sprain. It's also great if you have a knife or something like that that needs a better grip handle. Honestly, I could probably do an entire video on vet wrap. It's a completely underrated prepper item. Band-aids. I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. I did go ahead and stick one on my finger just to see how these did, because I was like, they're pretty cheap for this many Band-aids, but good stick. Overall, decent quality, especially for just a penny a piece. These little beady baby super glues, you honestly never know when you're going to be in a situation and you can't get to the hospital and you need to close a wound. But also, you never know when you're going to be in a situation where something just breaks and a little bit of super glue will just help you hold over until you get to where you're going. These little ones like this are probably one-time use only, but like we said earlier, 72 hours is all you really need to worry about for your bug out bag. You don't want to be weighed down. Ladies, so they have these emergency period kits, and for $1.25 you can't beat it. So we've got 2 menstrual pads, 2 plant-based flushing cleaning wipes, and then a no rinsing necessary spray. And I'm actually gonna probably go back and get a couple more of these. Bungee cords. Now I'm usually a Harbor Freight girly, but for $1.25 for a 5-pack, I just couldn't pass it up. Honestly, this is another one you could do a whole video on. You can use it to compress sleeping bags, tie up tarps between trees, tie up your gear. There's a million things that you can do with bungee cord. Remember, it's not about buying everything all at once. It's about steady progress. A few dollars here, a few dollars there, just to give you that little bit of peace of mind. The key is starting now, because once the crisis hits, you won't get a second chance to prepare. Let me show you something. For the active ingredient in super glue, the stuff that makes your skin stick together is cyanoacrylate. In human and in vet med, the doctor may choose to use a product called Dermabond to close an incision or a wound instead of using sutures. Do you notice anything about the active ingredient in Dermabond? Now the caveat to this is that medical grade manufacturers have a higher standard of sterility, and supposedly the Dermabond is supposed to be formulated to be less irritating to skin. So shit hits the fan, hospitals are unavailable. When are you going to use super glue? The wound needs to be somewhat superficial, meaning it only affects the very top layer of skin. The bleeding should be controlled, not spewing, but a few drops here and there are still okay. In a perfect situation, the wound wouldn't be serrated. It would be a clean cut. Think like a cut from a knife. And it needs to be cleaned. If you close up a wound that still has dirt and debris in it, all you're doing is closing up bacteria within the wound. This is where benzalkonium, hydrogen peroxide, alcohol pads, or even the other kind of alcohol will come in handy. And the wound needs to be in a low movement area, so that your arm, your leg, your scalp, doing it in your joints would be pretty pointless because it'll just open back up. So in a grid down situation or when hospitals are unavailable, super glue should have a place in your bug out bag or in your home medical kit. Remember, small, clean, low tension cuts where the bleeding is already under control.